Dear student, today we are going to discuss about the Gandhi and Ambedkar part 2. In this discussion, we discuss about the contribution of Ambedkar in the reorganization and reconstructing of Indian society. In part 1, we have discussed about Mahatma Gandhi's contribution in the development of democratic liberal country like India. Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar used to say that nothing important is achieved in this world without hard work. It means hard work is essential to achieve anything in this world. It is only through hard and relentless struggle that a person get strength, confidence and recognition. Good things do not descend from heaven to earth. Every progress has its price. It has been his belief that if India has to become a strong nation and an advanced society, it must end the caste system. Apart from this, there is no other way. A caste-less society based on liberty, equality and fraternity cannot be created permanently through constitution and law. For this, ideological and moral confirmation is necessary, whose most effective agency is religion. They considered religion essential in the life of individual and society, but it should be religion in real sense. Many great personalities including Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Swami Vivekanand, Jyotiba Phule and Mahatma Gandhi have done important work in the field of establishing social justice in modern India. But Dr. Ambedkar's contribution is very original and important. That's why he is called the pioneer of social justice in modern India. He struggled throughout his life to create a just society. Bhimrao Ambedkar, when we talk about the biography of Bhimrao Ambedkar, Bhimrao Ramji Ambedkar was born on 14th April 1891 in a village in Mau near Indore. He was born in a Mahar caste, that is untouchable caste, which is counted among the scheduled caste in Maharashtra. His name in childhood was Bhim Sakpal. His father's name was Ramji Sakpal. His father was a follower of Saint Kabir. That's why he did not believe in caste. He converted to Buddhism on 14th October 1856 in Nagpur with millions of his fans. After passing high school in Satara, that is a village of Maharashtra, in 1907, he joined Elphinstone College of Mumbai. Gaekwad scholarship was given to him by Maharaja Gaekwad of Baroda state while studying in college. With the help of this scholarship, he did his MA in 1915 from Columbia University, America. He was the first person among the untouchables in India to receive such a high degree of education. In 1916, he received his PhD from Columbia University. After taking this degree, he went to London in 1916, where he studied law. In 1921, he joined the London School of Economics and studied economics and political science. From there, he took the degree of Master of Science and PhD. The subject of his PhD was the problem of rupee from the University of London. He also did bar at law. After completion of his education from London, Ambedkar started advocacy in 1923 and also started the work of upliftment of Dalit. In 1930, also became the president of All India Depressed Class Association. In 1936, he founded an independent labor union, which later transformed into the All India Scheduled Caste Federation. He became a member of the Governor General Council. The Constitution of India was drafted under his chairmanship on 3rd August 1949, he took over as the Law Minister of the Government of India. In 1955, he formed the Bharatiya Buddha Sabha. He had a thought, and as it is also reflected in his creation and his action also. The Dalit class does not get any respect in Hinduism. So he discussed about the upliftment of scheduled caste and particularly the Dalit class and oppressed class of the Indian society. When we talk about the caste system is predominant characteristics of Indian society. Hence he discussed about the caste and how we uplift the Dalit and untouchables in the whole caste system. The caste system has been an existing system in the Indian society for many centuries. It divides all the people of the society into 4 hierarchical categories called Varn, that is Varn Vyavastha, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra, in which Brahmins are at the highest position and Sudras are at the lowest position. The membership of a caste is determined by the birth of a person, and his future offsprings, generations automatically became a part of that particular caste. On this subject, Ambedkar presented research in a seminar of Dr. Goldenweiser Anthropology during his residence at Columbia University. In this paper titled Caste System in India, that is a predominant culture of Indian society, its formation, origin and development. Ambedkar identified caste as a major institution. When he returned to India after completing his education, the Maharajas of Baroda appointed him as military secretary in the princely state of Baroda, but he resigned from the post due to untouchability by his subordinate upper caste. Untouchability prevailing in caste system. So he resigned from this post. In 1917, representing the depressed classes, he launched a nationwide movement and placed his demand in front of Montagu, the then Secretary of India. In 1918, he became Professor of Political Economy at the Indian College, Mumbai. Thereafter, he wrote several such articles in the Times of India in which he supported the cause of Dalit in the field of Swaraj. That is a movement started by Mahatma Gandhi. He also brought out a weekly paper called Mook Nayak and presided over the first function of the All India Dalit Convention. His life was mostly dedicated to the upliftment of Dalit and constructive work for their progress. In 1931, Dr. Ambedkar met Mahatma Gandhi at Mani Bhavan, Malabar Hills, Mumbai. He criticized the attitude of the Congress towards Dalit emancipation in front of Gandhiji and said that until the Congress does not give due place to the class considered untouchable in its program, there cannot be an atmosphere of harmony and goodwill in the country. This is essential for harmony in the society, that we uplift the Dalit and untouchables in the society and they achieve the same status as Brahmins and other Savarnas have. Gandhiji liked his appeal very much and agreed with Baba Saheb and announced that now no one among Hindus will hurt anyone on the basis of birth. He discussed with many leaders regarding the question of untouchability, as a result of which gradually untouchables and Dalit were counted as equal to upper castes. He said that untouchables cannot be freed only by temple entry and sharing food, because their problem is to get livelihood and to gather proper means to move forward in the field of education and development. He emphasized that until the so-called upper caste change their heart and embrace the untouchables in good faith, till then there will be no proper upliftment of them and the Dalit class. He said that the disability of Indian society can be removed only by giving education to Dalit and backward classes and providing social justice and moral rights. He always fought for Dalit and backward and depressed class of the society, because in the hierarchical position they are in the lower strata of the society. First important part, when we talk about the caste, there are so many divisions in a particular caste. Like Brahmins, many subcaste are there. In Kshatriyas, many subcaste are there. Similarly in Vaishyas, many subcaste are there, and similarly in Sudras there are so many subcaste are there. So he discussed about the elimination of subcaste. Ambedkar was not in favor of his approach, because even if we assume that the merger of subcaste is possible, it is not guaranteed that the elimination of subcaste will necessarily lead to the elimination of caste. On the contrary, it may happen that with the abolition of subcaste, this process stops. In that case, the elimination of subcaste would only help to strengthen the caste and make them more powerful and therefore more harmful. So it is not necessary to eliminate the subcaste in a particular caste. Start intercaste dining. Ambedkar felt that it was inadequate to any caste allow intercaste dining, but it has not destroyed the caste spirit and caste consciousness. Encourage intercaste marriage. Ambedkar believes that the feeling of kinship can arise only by the fusion of blood, and until this feeling of kinship becomes paramount, the feeling of alienation created by caste will not happen. Nothing else will work as a caste solvent. It means he propounded that elimination of caste is not essential, but the feeling of consciousness, awareness in the upper caste mind for the lower caste people like Dalit and untouchables of the society. Supporter of social justice. This is the most important view of Ambedkar about social justice, because Dalit have no social justice in the society because they are deprived, they are oppressed by the upper caste or known as Savarnas. Baba Saheb was a staunch enemy of the caste system and low thought of high and low. There is division in the society by birth, one is higher than the others, one is lower than the other. He was a supporter of social justice and equality. He clarified his ideology in the article titled Indian Caste Origin, Development and Methodology. He reiterated the same things while presiding over the convention organized by Jat Paat Todak Mandal Lahore. The caste system of the Hindu and the measures to destroy them, who were the Sudras, who were the untouchables, how to become untouchables. His social views can also be known from other articles. While doing a historical analysis of the Indian social system, he told that in the beginning there were no high-low barriers, but selfish people created cracks in it to make their own ends, due to which the social system has become fragmented into lower and higher, touchables and untouchables, servant and backward. He believed that intercaste marriage is the only way to bridge the gap of this caste system. The basis of his social thought is man and humanity, which cannot be divided into any kind of special category. Baba Saheb's childhood was full of religious rites, but his religiosity was not affected by rituals and superstitions. His father was a Kabirpanthi, so there was no place for narrow mindedness in his views. Expressing his attitudes towards religion, he wrote, "We oppose the religion which supports inequality. If Hinduism is the religion of untouchability, then it should become a religion of equality. Hinduism needs Chaturvarniya eradication, 4 hierarchical strata in the society. Chaturvarniya, the system, is the mother of untouchability, in which Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Sudra. The upper three are touchables and the last fourth one is untouchables. If these are not rooted out, the untouchables will certainly abandon this religion. Baba Saheb's views towards religion were extremely liberal. He said that the development of a person's virtue is the ultimate aim of true religion. In broader sense, he talked about the religion, not in the narrow sense of the religion, that is belief in super spiritual or supernatural world. It means in broader sense, when we talk about the religion, religion is the duties and responsibility of a person in the society. It has the innate qualities of fraternity, equality and liberty. Baba Saheb does not accept the religion which deprives the society of human rights. He clearly said that religion is for man and not man for religion. It means religion is important, that is duty and responsibilities are important for a man, for the development of the society. Support the view of democratic system. His follower propounded democratic society, that is Indian society will be the democratic society. He has views about this democratic system in India also. Dr. Ambedkar was a strong supporter of the democratic system. He believed that democracy cannot flourish in India until the participation of Dalit in that system. It means Dalits are the part of Indian society, and without Dalit we cannot think about the democratic society of India. From 1970 till his life, he demanded the rights of Dalit in the Indian Parliament and led many agitations, satyagraha and convention for Dalit emancipation. The same ideology is also reflected in his writings, whose aim is to make Dalit realize their identity along with Asmita. To know the political thought of Baba Saheb, one should study his following English text: Ranade, Gandhi and Jinnah, Federation versus Freedom, Status and Minority, and Thoughts on Pakistan, etc. These are the articles written by Baba Saheb Ambedkar about Dalit and untouchables of the society. B.R. Ambedkar and the drafting of constitution. This is most important contribution of Baba Saheb Ambedkar about the drafting of Constitution of India. Passing a resolution on August 29, 1947, the Constituent Assembly appointed a drafting committee with 7 members, including Dr. Ambedkar, to draft the Constitution of Free India. It is said that when the Constitution of India was being drafted, Pandit Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel thought of inviting and consulting Sir Gay Jennings, an internationally renowned constitutional expert of that time. When Gandhiji was approached for advice in this matter, he was told why he should seek for an expert when he had a authority and outstanding legal and constitutional expert in Dr. Ambedkar, who should be entrusted the role because he is so rich and truly deserving. Law Minister Dr. Ambedkar was appointed as the chairman of the drafting committee of Constitution. The 7 members, including the chairman of the drafting committee, were as follows: Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as chairperson of the committee, and Goipal Swami, Aladi Krishnamai Ayya, K.M. Munshi, Saiji Mola Sabdullah, and Madhav Rao and D.P. Khaitan. These are the members of the committee. Dr. Ambedkar was a charismatic personality. He was a man of practical excellence who never allowed himself to be swayed by abstract ideas and ideals. He firmly believed that in the absence of social justice, political freedom could not ensure either social cohesion or national unity. It means social justice is essential for all walks of life. Being a democratic socialist, he propagated that in the absence of social democracy, fundamental rights have no meaning for the people. Dr. Ambedkar played an important role in looking at the structure of the government and the forms of constitution. The Round Table Conference was a milestone in the history of the Indian Constitution. When invited to discuss constitutional matter, Dr. Ambedkar called for independence and hoped that the people of India would be able to redress their grievances by political power, and that political power would come to them under the Swaraj Constitution. It means Constitution is most important part of any country where social justice is predominant part of that constitution. In the Constituent Assembly, Dr. Ambedkar played a very important role with a great responsibility of drafting the constitution. He examined the functioning of a democratic government on the basis of stability and responsibility. However, in the draft constitution, he recommended that the executive should have greater responsibility for parliamentary stability. As far as the character of the constitution is concerned, it was federal in forms and unitary in spirit. It established a dual polity with the center at the center and the state at the periphery, each endowed with sovereign power to exercise respectively in the territory assigned to them by the constitution. That is the concept of federalism, most important part of constitution. His concept of federalism meant that the state was a federation in normal state but unitary in emergency. While drafting constitution, Dr. Ambedkar offered more power to the center and strengthened it. Some members of the Constituent Assembly criticized him on the ground that since Dr. Ambedkar has envisaged the rights and values of every individual and the development of every province and every village, strengthening the center was contradictory on his part. Justifying the provisions for a strong central authority, Dr. Ambedkar said that he made the center strong not only to save the minority from the misrule of the majority, but it is the center alone which work for a common end and common good, can do in the interest of the country as a whole. In the constitution, fundamental rights are the most important part of the constitution, and he said about the fundamental rights set out in the draft constitution were justifiable in a court of law. Among all rights, Dr. Ambedkar considered equality of opportunity to be the most important. With regard to constitutional remedies, he characterized Article 32 as the soul of the Constitution and its heart. For them, fundamental rights would mean establishing equality and liberty to reform our social system, which is full of inequalities, discrimination and others that conflict with our fundamental rights. Similarly, with fundamental rights, he discussed about the directive principles. Directive principles of state policy enshrines the positive obligation of the states towards the citizen, because state is a welfare state. Hence, directive principles are important for the person of the population of the state to use these directive principles to achieve their goals or to achieve their needs. The directive were to ensure social and economic democracy, which was protected by the provision of fundamental rights in a written constitution. Dr. Ambedkar said, what are called directive principles is another name for the instrument which give instructions to the legislature and the executive as to how they should exercise their power. It means directive principles are not fundamental. Fundamental rights are slightly different with directive principles. The Constitution is a dynamic document which must evolve with the growth of the nation and conform the changing needs and circumstances. Whenever need arises, we will amend the Constitution. That's why Dr. Ambedkar argued the need of amendment. Ambedkar sought to achieve his objectives through the Constitution of India by incorporating the following principles: to make the Indian Constitution practical, flexible enough and strong enough to hold the country together in time of peace and war, to provide special protection to minorities and certain classes who were socially and educationally backward, incorporating the principle of one man, one value and one vote. Thus, the Constitution of India acknowledged the individual and cast a net on the village as a unit. Inclusion of exceptions and qualifications of FRs by advocating prevention, detention and energy diversion power of President of India. Abolition of untouchability and forced labor to achieve the ideal of one person, one value and one person, one vote, and to keep all people equal before the law, to ensure equal protection of the laws to every citizen as well as freedom of professions and equality of opportunity. Next is incorporating the rights to constitutional remedies for making the right real. Dr. Ambedkar's contribution to Indian democracy cannot be forgotten. As the chairman of the Constitutional Committee, he shaped our country into a fully sovereign, democratic and republic based on adult franchise, that is the right of vote. The whole discussion we can summarize that Ambedkar was a charismatic power. He drafted a good constitution for India. Hence, we can say that Dr. Ambedkar's concept of nation and nation building is quite different from that of national politicians. Dr. Ambedkar was the only leader who did not consider India as a nation. His national concept was not based on language, religion and race. He believed that rights, self-representation and participation in power, etc. are some of the elements that can build a nation. Here the nation starts taking shape on the basis of ambition and willpower. Ambedkar also considered brotherhood as an important point of nation building, that is restructure, reorientation of Indian society, as well as the legacy of a long cultural capital in which all sections or groups of this society can participate. Everyone has equal right to participate and contribute about the nation. On the other hand, Ambedkar struggled to establish the rights of deprived society throughout his life for nation building. For national integration, it is most important part that all should be equal in the eyes of Constitution. To establish the rights of untouchables, tribals and backward classes, minorities and women in these societies, he also launched a movement and debated in the Constituent Assemblies. Third, and Dr. Ambedkar gave preference to the constitutional post for the establishment of democratic values for nation building, and national integration is essential for a democratic society. He believed that any way other than this could be harmful. Next, fourth is Dr. Ambedkar believed that oblivion is fragmented and negative historical past. Fragmentation of monopoly in the institution of power of the elite classes always plays an important role in the formation of the nation. Not only nation building, Dr. Ambedkar also told the measures of the safe future of the nation. Therefore, in today's context, Dr. Ambedkar's interpretation of caste, untouchability, women, national integration, social justice, nation and nation building has become more contemporary. That is, in contemporary society, when we talk about the views of Ambedkar, is quite relevant in the contemporary society, because with the ideas of Ambedkar we can solve so many problems like caste system, hierarchy in the caste system, that is untouchability and injustice to the lower caste people of this society, and how we construct a national integration or national building. This is the most important contribution of Dr. Ambedkar for the development of the democracy, for the reorientation of Indian society and for national integration of Indian society.